We've only just begun.
There we go. We're on. Yeah. So, hey, Neil.
Yeah. yeah, whatever. Whatever. I have to go searching the channel as we play.
It's Swaga tonight.
I would love to do that on the show. Just as I did that on my channel on a couple of occasions. Instead of the usual Imperial March music at the start of my episodes, I did about half a dozen episodes where I just took music from the opening sequence music from other shows, because all of my stuff had a copyright, copyright claim to it. So I was like, well, sod it, if it's going to be copyright claimed, I don't care.
Might as well go all the way. Yeah.
Just own it, enjoy it, So I did on a couple of occasions.
Nice.
Oh, and the chat's starting to fill up.
Yep.
There we go.
B Coots is here. Dr. Feelgood. Boulder DBs. Snarman using the Darth Benny Biscuit Weasel emote.
Yeah, that's all our emotes there.
Yeah.
Boulder Doobies, are you from Colorado by any chance?
Is Snarman a Thundercat?
I think that's Bodhi.
Snarman's got to be a Thundercat, man. Snarman.
Snarman is one of our really, really good supporters. And look, geez, Dr. Feelgood already gifting a sub to Reality Skew Gamers. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Feelgood.
RSG are in the house.
Yep, RSG. I saw them lurking in the chat.
Oh, were they lurking?
Oh, we love it how they lurk.
Nothing wrong with a lurker.
No, I lurk on RSG all the time. So.
Yeah, no, I lurk on most people's channels, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm doing something else, but it's like I've got a phone, so I'll just bang the Twitch on and there, I'm lurking. I'm lurking on someone else's channel. And if I hear something funny or amusing, I jump in.
I'm the number one lurker in this community.
One of the other things is that I use Twitch a lot for. I'll watch MST3K. I love History Science Theater 3000.
Really?
Yes. There's a 24/7 MST3K channel.
I was unaware of this.
Yes.
You can't know everything. You can't know everything on every channel. You just got to kind of like experiment here and there, everything here, there, and everywhere. So, yeah.
I like to watch the girls just talk.
You like Scotty? Interesting.
Yep, Dr.
Interesting.
And Rift Tracks. Rift Tracks is also on Twitch. So you can get it from Nelson.
Okay, we're nearly there. It's nearly time to go silent. Oh. Alright. I'll see you on the other side, gentlemen.
Alright.
Hello once again, it's your boy That's No Moon, representing Doombringer, and you're listening to the Escape Pod cast. The show was recorded in front of a live studio audience, and hey Paul, why did the wing cross the road? Because it smelt something foul with the drop rates. Chicken foul? Anyone? It's going to be another tough crowd tonight, gents. All yours, Paul. All yours, Nev. Take it away.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
Get your hard hats out because there are construction delays.
Yeah, the road ahead has been pushed into June, but I'm actually optimistic about it.
Well, at least that makes one of us. Do I get to rage?
No, because at least we got an update on it.
But it wasn't a road ahead.
Come on, Neil. With what they said, there are going to be some major benefits.
Well, we'll get into that in our first segment.
All right. Well, then in our second segment, we're going to talk about the Y-Wing bomber.
And we will address the rate gate as only we can.
It's all about those crystals.
We welcome Jackson Tucker into our incoming transmission.
He is a SWGOH and Battlefield 2 streamer, and I'm excited for all of you to get to know him better.
And of course, Patreon's Choice is our fourth segment. We will even open it up to the Twitch live recording chat this week.
We also have Scotty joining us in the first two segments this week.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Escape Pod Cast. To my left and right are my co-hosts, my hetero life partner, Paul, and an Aussie. No, my bestest buddy from down under, Scotty McLaren. So, gentlemen, how have you been?
Mate, I've been unreal. The Prime Minister has decided to, in his words, he said that we're going to get you all out from under the doona and get the country back going again. So things are happening pretty good here in Australia right now. We're starting to get out of COVID-19 lockdown. Fantastic. And the only country we're allowed to go to was New Zealand, which is even better. So
it's off to the land of the hobbits is.
Indeed. Yes. And Gandalf.
And Gandalf.
Who actually looks a lot like you, Neil, by the way.
Hey, that's not an insult. I mean, you tried, but you fell very, very short there. Very poor sledging, Scotty. Very poor sledging.
How are you, Paul? You well?
I'm hanging in there. It's been a wild ride this entire week. Love the support that everybody sent out this past week. Thank you for stopping by. It was fun to work with Neil and showing him Imperial Assault. You know, got a lot of fun stuff going on with the channel, with the network. More stuff to come, even. It's a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Schnarman, for the gifted sub. Also, Dr. Feelgood gave one during the intro while we were sitting there. As I said, lots of support coming in from everybody. We're still on the push to 1,000. We are still on the push to 1,000 for our YouTube subscribers, and there's a lot of stuff that'll happen. Neil will cut his hair. Bringer will cut his hair. Deadpool Kyle will give away $50 gift card, either iOS or US $50 gift card to somebody that's in either camp, Android or iOS. Lots of fun stuff. And we just yesterday, Llama and I recorded a new episode of the Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed podcast that lives exclusively on YouTube. But that was absolutely certainly great to do. And you've been running your GACs on our Twitch channel, except for Pom Pom.
Except for Pom Pom. Pom Pom has returned home. Pom Pom Tastic has gone home to the YouTube channel that birthed it. You know, I felt it was as good time as any to return that account to the channel where it all began. So yeah, and getting some nice comments from people I have not heard from in a while, that obviously haven't popped over to Twitch, which is fine. Some people like their YouTube, some people like their Twitch. So that's why I felt it would be not kind of nice to send something back to my YouTube channel. So because I've been neglecting my subscribers for like 3 months, so yeah, really needed to do something for them.
You're the one who wanted to go to Twitch.
Yes, look, we had to go to Twitch. It's so much better live. Look how much more fun it is. The delay is 3 seconds. We have to, Twitch was an inevitability, all those problems that we were having on YouTube with latency and blocks and this and that. We haven't had any of that grief on Twitch. So yeah, I think it was a good move.
Exactly. I wholeheartedly agree. So let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, rip it off.
As we said here, the road ahead is delayed.
Well, I've got it here in front of me if you'd like me to read it out for clarification.
Sure, go ahead, Neil.
Okay. Hi, Holotable Heroes. We know you are eager for new game modes and features, but in order to do so, it's important that we spend time improving the foundation of the game. Rest assured, more content is coming, but the game has evolved tremendously over the years, and so have the needs and expectations for it. Much of the gameplay experience you see in our game is largely handcrafted. While this has worked until now, it doesn't allow us to build fast enough to satisfy the demand for content. In order to ensure that there are more exciting years to come for Galaxy of Heroes, we are taking some additional time in order to build up our tools needed to take our game to the next level. In addition to the tools, we're working on technology upgrades that will improve memory handling and performance, client stability, and make it easier for us to play cinematics in-game. We're planning to share details on upcoming content features in the road ahead, which has been moved into June. We'll also have some key info to share with you about a major character release, so stay tuned.
I want to get to the character release shortly, but first things first. Just based on that particular post that was done by Top Hat, why couldn't they tell us that 3-4 months ago instead of keeping us going, on like a lure, to use a fishing term, that we're going to have this next month. We're going to have the road ahead next month. What if this road ahead is delayed until September because they haven't got it right?
Yes, I must admit, I mean, I can sense the disappointment in your voice, and that's where I am. Disappointment. I'm not angry because there's nothing in it to be angry about. Apart from the major character release, snippet. But apart from that, it was just, it was disappointing that they've delayed it. And that was it.
I wasn't mad, as you guys say. I was not upset at this. And yes, JJ, I know Scotty's audio is low. I will be fixing that in post-production for the podcast version. I do apologize for that. We will try to back off so Scotty can talk when it's time. But I wasn't angry. I was disappointed, but then I looked at it. I looked at this post, and if they've hand built all this stuff, they truly have done a darn good job, in my opinion, in what they've done. And if they're making it easier for them to put other stuff in, like they have been saying in these QAs, I'm actually thinking that we're going to get back to the game that we love, the game that Scotty and I were playing 66 episodes ago.
Well, I mean, I like your optimism, Paul, and I hate to be the negative Nancy in here, but in saying that, I mean, we've, as a player base, have been absolutely smashed for the past year and a bit by Capital Games. We really have been. And, you know, like spending. I mean, unless this new game mode and the rest of it that they do is actually going to give us something back as a community, I think that the damage is done. I mean, like I've noticed a lot of people that have actually left this game prior to this particular post coming out, and a lot hinges on what they're going to tell us in the road ahead. And I think that the fact that they've delayed it just makes it even worse for some people.
Okay, so let's say you know, we have lost a lot of heavy hitters. We lost a lot of big content creators. I mean, look at Warrior for the love of Pete. But I see that and I say, okay, well, they just released something. They released slowly these whole Galactic Legends. You know, I'm looking at it in hindsight. And they slowly released these Galactic Legends while they were working on this new system that they were pushing out all this content on. But I'm thinking that they put something out for the deep end whales, and now we're getting back to something that everybody can participate in. That's not going to be balls to the wall hard like the Padme event at first. That's not going to be, you know, how many times did you and I work on try to go after C-3PO? Remember that, Scotty?
No, it wasn't C-3PO for me. It was Chewbacca. Chewbacca was the one. 3PO I got pretty easily, but
I got 3PO on my third, or I got Chewbacca on my third try. It was 3PO that was about 100 times, and Padme that was nearly 370.
Oh, yeah. Padme, easy.
Yeah, Padme was easy for me too, but Chewbacca, that was the worst for me. And Malik, oh, don't even get me started. But, you know, I got to say though, Paul, that's all great, mate. You know, that's all good and well in hindsight. But in saying that though, you know, we're in this position right now in this game, you know, that they did release, yes, for the end game players, you know, the top end guilds, probably the top 5 or 6 guilds in this game. I mean, let's remember that there's only 3,200 Rays that are out there, and there's only something like 560 odd Kylos that are out there as well, last time I checked. So, you know, there's still only a small percentage of this particular population of the game that are still playing with Galactic Legends. You throw in the fact that they moved into and Nev, I know you hate this, but they tried to get new players on board with the Hyperdrive bundle. So they went the Hyperdrive bundle route. They went the Galactic Legends route, and then for everyone in between, there's been nothing. Let's be fair.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree that there's been nothing, or the new, sorry, it's not that there's nothing. It's that it's just the existing stuff. So for the people before the Hyperdrive bundle, it's just been the day-to-day runnings of the game, you know, so you progress, you haven't got the Hyperdrive bundle, so you go through your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, and Galactic War opens up, Fleet opens up, Territory Battles and Territory War, you know, so there is still that initial excitement for new people coming into the game that aren't stumping up $100 for the Hyperdrive bundle, but for those of us that are similar, you know, free-to-play people, that have been, you know, playing for ages and that are veterans, yet that there hasn't been an awful lot for veteran free-to-play gamers.
Well, I mean, like I think about people that are at that 4.5 to say, let's go even further back, say 3.9 to say 5.2 million GP. You know, I think about those guys. You know, there's been nothing really for them to do in the game. You know, like they've progressed there. They don't want to go up any higher because it's going to ruin what they do in GAC, you know, and they might end up in a situation like me where I've got 6 Rays and 1 Kylo and I don't have either of them. In matchmaking, you know, that's the reality of it. You know, that there just hasn't been anything released for that mid-game player, you know, that they can continue to get better with their roster, or hey, I might invest in Empress Nest because suddenly I've figured out that she's an awesome tank. You know what I mean? Like, I can do stuff.
Explain what this mid-game character Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, but you know what? I'm kind of on that side when I say this. What mid-game character can they release for you, or what do they have to do in order to make you feel good? Is it a legendary that could be completed at gear 10, or is it or I mean, because they've released Mando, they've released the ships for Vulture Droid, for Hyena Bomber, they've released those. I mean, we've seen a whole.
Well, all it's needed is a new way for people to use their toys, a new way for us to play with our toys. Whether it's
Yeah.
something that's kind of like a cross between, something that's Territory Wars but for a solo, or something that's GAC like but for a group, or something
Okay.
that's Galactic War but with maybe a territory battle type twist on it, something that just allows people to go in with all of their characters and slowly build up and have some fun with everything in your roster.
Go ahead,
I've got-
Scotty.
I've got to say that's Neil's on the right track. But at the end of the day, if you're at the 4.5 million GP to say 5.2 million GP, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of this, but it is what it is. I mean, you log into the game, you do your dailies for the day, and you're like, right, okay. And if you're a free-to-play player like Neil and myself are, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna go, okay, cool, all right, I've done my dailies, I've done my, I've got a little bit of gear here for Bastilla Shan, for example, if you're trying to gear her up to get her to relic level, and you go, cool, all right, I've done all that. What is there next to do for me? Okay, I'll log out and I'll wait for my energy refreshes which come through. You log in again, you get your energy refresh, you log out again. That's what I'm saying. And then they brought in this whole stay and play scenario where you're not really even staying to play. You're spending 5, maybe 10 minutes extra in the game just to do something else, and then you're out again. That's what I'm referring to. I'm saying that you've got to give us something else. There's got to be something else that comes into it. I mean,
something
I'm
that
happy
we haven't
that
already had.
Yeah, I mean, like they've already look. I'm fantastic work, CG. I'll give you props. By upping the challenges to 8. That's sensational. That's brilliant. I'll take more Zetas any day of the week. You've also got the thing where they've actually upped the nodes to 8 as well. Let's keep that in place. That's fantastic. Let's do that. I picked up 5 fin shards today. Happy days. That's great. But at the end of the day, once you've done all this simmable content and all the rest of it, and if there's no territory battle happening, there's no TW happening, there's no GAC happening, there's nothing else to do for you if you're at 4.5 to 5.2 million GP. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, hopefully these new this new system that they're bringing in will do what they say they want it to do, which will allow them to bring more content in faster, different. Maybe if it's that good, we instead of just getting new characters every month, we could be getting new content every month. Maybe the content could be interchangeable. We'll bring this content in. This is a node where we can, we've got this new content, five new types of gameplay, but it's too much to have it in the game all the time. So there's going to be a node where we change it up, and for a month you can do this, and for 1 month you can do that. I mean, we really, really don't know what this system is going to do until they roll it out. And I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about it, because they're talking about improving memory handling, performance, and client stability, and that worries me, because I'm concerned that this new format, which is obviously going to have a client update, is going to kind of make it redundant on older mobile devices.
So what if they're using this stuff? What they could have been working on in all this time is Galaxy of Heroes 2. That was my thought, is that they could have possibly been working on Galaxy of Heroes 2, allowing you to import your roster from 1 to 2, but they're putting it on top of the current base that you're playing now. So they're trying to handle the memory better. so it can stay on these phones, and they don't have to roll out other phones. They don't have to phase out other models and phones like they have in the past.
See, I could get on board with something like that. I could get on board with something like that.
I don't know. I mean, SWGOH 2, we all know, like, it's a good example, Paul. I know what you mean, but SWGOH 2, if those people would just listen to the fact that you said SWGOH 2, it's not going to happen. We know that. But this is like the part 2 of their phases of what they're rolling out. I get what you're saying. I mean, for me, I don't know. I don't know if I could get on board with that either. You know, like, we've seen time and time again that there's been so many bugs with everything that comes through from capital games these days. I don't know if I'd be able to trust them with a major client update like this. You know, we might be out of the game for about 3 weeks.
But bugs and bugs and issues are one of the problems that they've had in the past. But that, us constantly complaining about the various different bugs and the various different issues within the game is why they're switching over to this new system. Now, if we have exactly the same bugs and issues problem with the new system that we have with the old one, then people are just going to complain more vociferously.
The problem is though, Neil, is that they don't test their content. So we're still going to have the same bugs, no matter what they do. They don't test it.
Yeah, getting rid of the game changes was definitely one of the things that they should never have done. They should never have done that. I mean, they were more concerned with leaks than, putting out new content that works. Yeah.
I mean, like, for mine, that's where the whole thing comes into it of, your agreement that you have with the studio, that if you do leak stuff and you are found to be leaking stuff, goodbye, sayonara. That's the way it is. But guys, look, I hate to be a negative Nancy and roll this down with this. I wanted to talk to you guys about the next part of what they did reveal, which was this new character. Now, look, I'm all for new characters coming to the game. I think that, look, there's a lot of characters that are out there that we haven't got in this game right now, like Nia Num, also the pirate guy, Asaka, Hondo Anaka, he's not in the game yet. There's so many other great characters that aren't in this game right now. Jabba the Hutt's another that's still not in the game. Jar Jar Binks is still not in the game. So this major new character, it's got to tie on the back of what is the hottest character in Star Wars right now. That is Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is the hottest character, and it comes on the back of the Mandalorian stuff. Now, before anyone says, "Oh, but it's Empire Strikes Back," no, it doesn't say anything in there about Empire Strikes Back, does it, Neil?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I do have a theory on what this major character is, and it's actually tied in with the event calendar. A pretty standard event calendar, but the login reward for June is Farm Boy Luke. And that got me thinking that maybe this major character that they're going to be throwing our direction is the reward character that I theorized would be for a ship raid, which is my theory was that the reward would be a Red 5 Luke Skywalker with his X-Wing. And because they've mothballed the fleet raid, they're not going to be rolling it out. It could be 6 to 12 months before we get the fleet raid. I think that they've already created the reward character and ship, and you tie in with that we've got the Y-Wing, we've got Luke Farmboy for the event. I think that what they're doing is giving us that Luke Skywalker, the orange jumpsuit Red 5 Luke Skywalker with his ship, because it's a character they've already created, and they're not going to give us the fleet raid, so why not give us the character? Whether it's Marquee or a Galactic Chase, I don't care. Something like that would be really, really awesome, because they, it shows the love back to the Rebel team.
Well, it does, yes. But, I mean, like, I can't see that happening. I think that, what are they going to do? They've released 3 Mandalorian characters. It would be a major fail on CG's behalf if they didn't continue to release Baby Yoda, who is the hottest commodity in Star Wars right now. which, by the way, has actually brought me back to loving Star Wars again, you know, the actual brand, because it's Baby Yoda, you know, it's fantastic. And Baby Yoda, for me, would be the character that would get most of this community excited, I think. I think that and the IG-11 droid and the Ugnaught I have spoken would be fantastic to come to this game, and Grief Karga as well. Is it Grief? No, what's the guy's name with the sword?
Moff Gideon.
Yeah. You know,
the sword. It's the dark saber.
The dark saber. The sword.
I don't want to give things away to people that live in the UK, you know, that haven't seen it yet because of Disney Plus only just launching there. Come on.
Army hearties, they'll sail the high seas.
I don't want to give stuff away, you know, like it's a major spoiler that, but you know,
the guy with the sword.
The guy with the sword.
That's all I can say, you know. It's spoilers. I've put a thing on myself that by July.
Lennox says the Highlander.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
By July 1, if you haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, well then fine, we can talk about all spoilers from there. But you know, I've put a thing on myself. But no, you know what? There's a lot of people in the world that haven't seen it yet. So I've got by July 1 that if you haven't seen it, well then sorry, it is what it is.
You can't think that saying Dark Saber is a spoiler, but yet open with Baby Yoda. What? Baby Yoda's in this new Star Wars TV show?
Yeah, but I mean, that got leaked pretty quickly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you look on the internet, Baby Yoda's everywhere. And to be fair, Baby Yoda appears at the end of episode 1.
It's got to be one of the most memed things in the world.
What is this internet you speak of, Scotty?
Interwebs.
So yeah, for mine, I think that it's Baby Yoda that's coming. I mean, yeah, Red 5 would be fantastic. I mean, well, what if it's a major character releases? Wouldn't that be nice? You know, that they give us Red 5 and also Luke in his jumpsuit. And it doesn't say releases. I know that, Nev. I know you're looking at it right now. But what if it is? I mean, just to give us something back after we've stuck into this game for quite some time. I think that it's probably a good time for them to give us something back. But yeah, for mine, my money's on Baby Yoda. What's your money on, Paul?
My money? And you guys are going to hate this. You guys are going to hate this. Galactic Legend Palpatine.
No.
My money's on Galactic Legend Palpatine. I'm probably going to be wrong, but Galactic Legend Palpatine, you need both Rey and Kylo, and it allows you to play with both in the same thing to finally beat Palpatine.
Yeah, but they've already said that they're going to be releasing somebody wants a Rey. They've already said that they're going to be doing Galactic Legends in twos.
For people that haven't, I know they're going to do them in twos. It was more tongue in cheek for that. For those who didn't know what just happened, because you're listening to the podcast version, if you donate a specific number of bits during the live recording of the show on Twitch, you get to see Neil rage in a GIF that pops up at the bottom right under Neil.
Yeah, thanks, Bisweeze.
Oh, by the way, speaking of Biscuit Weasel, man, and also Sir Boss and a number of other guys as well, shout out to Fallen over at the ANZGC. I'm now playing alongside you guys. Rock on.
I'm in the ANZGC.
Well, I'm also gonna thank speaking of Biscuit Weasel, his old guild, Schnarman, came over this past week and learned the ropes of territory battles from me. So it was very good to have Schnarman. It was an honor to have him learn right beside me. And the offer is open if you want to see how a non-holdback one, a non-holding back territory battle is done as well. Guys, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. Let's go.
Quickly.
Yeah,
Paul, how many stars did you get in light side?
We got 12.
Okay, 21 over with us.
Yeah, but you've got accounts that are 7 million in there. We're dealing with accounts that are under 6 million, and we did 12.
That's good, man.
So So if you want to flaunt your TB stick, do it prorate it. All right.
Hey, Biscuit Weasel and Sir Boss got 17, man.
That's because they have accounts that are in the 6.5 and 7 mil sitting in their guild. I'm quite aware of what everybody's doing. We are doing more with less. And if we applied what we had, with more, we would if we had more, we would give Maw a run for their money, and I'm dead serious when I say that.
Ooh, that's fighting talk.
How many more, man? I'll tell you what, man. You're gonna get to the full 30 shards, man. Like the full 30 stars when Baby Yoda's released, man. It's gonna be a game changer. Trust me.
I think you'll get it when Red 5 is released. Anyway, with that being said, let's go to a break. On the other side of this break, we are going to talk about Drop Rate Gate here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Have you been interested in getting items 3D printed but haven't wanted to buy one of those expensive printers? Are you looking for a literally one-of-a-kind tech gift gadget? Evil Genius 3D Printing and Gadgets is your one-stop shop for both of those items. Nerd-owned and Escape Pod approved, put Lenny the Evil Genius to work for you. If you can dream it, he could possibly make it. Contact Lenny at evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com for more information. That's evilgenius3dprinting@gmail.com. Get something unique in your hands.
Hey, I'm Andy Beads.
Hey, I'm Danish Bobo.
Hey, I'm Ando. Hey, I'm Jake.
I'm Bringer of Death.
Jake Johnson TX.
I'm Ramby2307.
Spartan Z here.
I am Mr. Jacobachi.
Star Wars Galaxy of Yeti.
I'm Player Gaming Embers.
I'm Lazy Turtle.
I'm Mudbum.
I mean, come on. They already know me. I'm the bloody co-host.
And we are part of
the GAC Chain Gang.
We are a group of streamers who
stream our Grand Arena on Twitch
and continue the chain
into the next streamer.
We have all types of accounts for you to enjoy, from the big whales to the
small accounts.
But we're all here to provide entertainment
and have a good time.
The Grand Arena Chain Gang is proud to be part
of the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network. Stop by and see them, won't you?
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to the Escape Podcast. I am your host, and I'm surrounded by co-hosts. I'm just going to throw it to Paul quickly before we go to
the funny thing.
Gates.
I just realized I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing in the Chain Gang ad there. My Big Lebowski Fallout mashup shirt.
Give me some of the dude.
Yeah, the dude. So real quick, you guys saw Evil Genius 3D printing ad. I want to throw a very special shout out and a very special happy birthday to Evil Genius, and to and also to a mutual good friend of Evil Genius and I, Bringer of Chaos. Want to throw happy birthdays out to them. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so we had some good stuff this week. One of those good things was a new ship, a pilotless. That's the one thing that disappointed me. I would have liked to have seen a Y-wing pilot. There was a Y-wing pilot survivor from the Death Star, and they could have thrown him in that ship, but they went for a crewless. So that's what we got, and it looks pretty good for all intents purposes. It's a houndstooth killer. I'm not going to get any disagreement there, am I, guys?
No, you're not.
No.
You're not going to get any sort of disagreement whatsoever. The thing shreds protection. I'm actually a little I actually am a little bit of worried also for the hyena bomber.
Really?
But that's just me.
Yeah.
Most people don't tend to use malevolence in a defensive formation, though. Most people tend to just use malevolence to do a climb with offensive, and then they'll put something a little bit more defensive in for the if they've got it, then they'll leave something more defensive in for their fifth battle. Is that not you? I mean, most of the people that I talk to,
I don't fall past 14 at the very, very farthest. I didn't move from 3, and my payout was 7 minutes ago. I'm at 1 now. I barely budge with my negotiator, but my negotiator is pretty much maxed.
Yeah. Exactly. You've got ships that are thick, so yeah.
I still worry.
I'm really I am looking forward to seeing it in. I must admit, I am looking forward to seeing this ship, because I've got multiple accounts, and the ship of favor for most of the fleet shards that I'm in is the negotiator with the houndstooth up front. So I'm really looking forward to testing out this ship, because I've got, like, fully decked out MILF fleets, but obviously it's running the houndstooth, and I'd love to just be able to replace that houndstooth. And everybody that I've spoken to about this has said that this is a very, very viable ship at 4 stars.
Well, let's go over the ship really quick before we get into the galactic chase portion of it. It's basic. It's basic, deals physical damage to the enemy, and then the Rebel Y-wing gains taunt until the start of its next turn if it wasn't already taunting. So it's an on and off again taunt if you are only going with basics. It has a ion torpedoes with a cooldown of 3 as its first special. Dispels, which is nice. It dispels all buffs on target enemy and inflicts shield disruption, which protection is disabled, and it's immune to protection up and gaining bonus protection. And then it deals physical damage to them, and the Y-wing taunts. So this Y-wing is taunting in relation. Now, yes, the shield disruption, there are some of the separatist ships that can gain that little extra shield. So that is what I'm worried about going against the negotiator. Now, it has that's it. Special 1, or basic, and a special 1. It has a unique where Rebel allies recover 20% protection whenever a Rebel ally is critically hits someone, and if the allied capital ship is Rebel, if it's Akbar, the Y-Wing has an extra 30% potency and a 35% chance to assist when they attack out of turn.
You see, that's one of the reasons why I don't think it's going to affect Malevolence fleets as much, because you know that once you build up some steam and you start collecting them Harry Potters on your crew, that you're getting
call them Harry Potters
because it's a little lightning bolt.
It's an overcharge.
It's a little lightning bolt, so I call it a Harry Potter.
Because you're a
shh. Because it's only cleansing one ship. It's only debuffing one ship. So if you've got 3 or 4, if you've got 3 or 4 out there, and they've all got Harry Potters on, all you're going to need to do to defeat the Y-Wing is enough buzz droids on it that your vulture droids just pound it into the ground. And that's why I don't think that it's going to be as effective against Malevolence fleets. Yes, negotiator fleets, other rebels, other crew, other fleets. Yes, I just don't think it's going to be as problematic for Malevolence fleets because, like I said, as long as you got ships with Harry Potters everywhere, you're going to be safe.
And by the way, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy wants to know if we have Harry Potter in the game, if we're going to get his Thunderbolt ship.
It's a broomstick, you numpty.
And I know it's Firebolt, but anyway, Scotty, what you got as far as this ship goes?
Look, I think it's a great ship. I mean, like I've got it at 4 stars right now. I've just unlocked the thing, and I'm having a bit of a play with it. It's going to bring the Akbar fleet back into consideration again, which is not a bad thing. A lot of people have the Millennium Falcon all maxed out and a few other things as well. But yeah, I can see where you're going with it, Paul. I know that, Neil, you're right. I mean, with the Harry Potters over the top, with the Malevolence fleet. Yeah, but having said that, I mean, the Akbar fleets always struggled against the Malevolence. They always did. So this will certainly help you get through the Hyena Bomber and also the Hound's Tooth a little bit quicker, you would think. And also Sunfax Taunt as well, you'd have to say. It'll get through that a lot quicker too. So, it might become competitive again. It's probably worth testing. That's what I have to say about that. But, the fleet itself, the ship itself, it's a good ship. I've had a bit of a play with it. It does take down the Hound's Tooth at 4 stars, yes, but it's not as clear cut, just yet. I don't think anyway, as what, others are leading you to believe. It's definitely well worth going after and unlocking, I think. But, you can still farm it later, I think, as well. So, yeah, it's a good ship, but I wouldn't say it's something that you need right this second.
I'm actually kind of hoping that when they do make it farmable, that they put it on a node with another character, and a character that you need, not one that's nice, not one that's, kind of handy, but, one of those characters that you look at and go, that is an essential farm within the first 12 months of playing a game. That's what I'd like to see it on one of those.
Yeah, I agree. But I want to talk about the drop rates.
Yes.
If I can.
So here's what Crumb says. Many of you have been asking about the drop rate during the Galactic Chase for the Rebel Y-Wing and why it differs from previous Galactic Chases on fleet nodes. We wanted to move Galactic Chase back to fleet nodes for narrative purposes, as well as knowing that players were already farming fleet nodes at an accelerated rate due to gearing characters for the Galactic Legends. Here's a quick aside. Dear God, that's absolutely correct. I was spending 350s to end up getting furnaces. Anyway, back in July of last year, we changed that refresh rate and cost of ship energy to match regular energy. I'm glad they also said, by the way, that it might be temporary. So if they ever go back on it, it is. This cut the refresh refresh rate and cost of ship refreshes in half, and galactic chase drop rates on the fleet nodes were essentially cut in half as well. They were adjusted from 4% to 2% to account for them. This does not change the drop rate for any other types of nodes that galactic chases can appear on. All right, now that we've said that, it basically, they're saying there, it's all about the crystals. Scotty.
Look, here's the problem. You know, previous galactic chases, right? It said in the game, bonus shard. And it still says it for this one too, bonus shard. Here's the problem. That you would think that if you were simming, say, 7 battles, there is 7 bonus ship shards. That's how it worked in the last galactic chases with the Ebon Hawk and the rest of them. It's not working this way right now. Bonus is the key word. If it said chance, then that would be better. But in the game right now, it says bonus. So if you're going for, say, stun cuffs on the fleet shard, and you get a chance, you get 0 stun cuffs, and you've gone simmed 7, you should have got 7 bonus of those shards for the ship. But unfortunately, it's not working that way. You're not getting the bonuses. It's a chance of getting a bonus shard. It's in the wording. It shouldn't say bonus. It should say chance.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue against. I mean, that's a perfectly legitimate argument as far as I'm concerned. I'm coming at it from the angle that the drop rate is so pathetically low that it's just monstrously expensive. You can. I mean, I've done the math. You can do 150 crystals worth plus your bonus energy and still not unlock this ship every single day that the galactic chase is on. That's ridiculous because most people are using those 150 on regular energy. I mean, and at least 100 crystals on a Cantina farm. That's 250 crystals. Most people who are free-to-play veterans cannot afford 400 crystals every single day unless they've built up a bit of steam. I've got one account that I can do that on. Literally, I've got one account that I can do that on. And it's a new ship. It's something, it's not new content, but it is a new thing in the game. The Mando characters that they brought in, it's a marquee. You get something at 3 stars. It doesn't cost you any crystals, doesn't cost you anything extra. But to get this new thing, it's literally costing you hundreds of crystals every single day in order to get it. And some people cannot do that simply because they have they're in guilds, they're in alliances, and these guilds and these alliances have rules, and those rules are usually 600 tickets. Now, if they included spending fleet energy towards your daily tickets, your daily 600 tickets, this wouldn't be an issue, and I wouldn't be complaining about it. But they're not. Okay, so there are people that want to spend all of their crystal refresh. If you could take the 250 that you are usually spending on regular energy in Cantina for the 5 days that the galactic chase is on, you could probably get it. But you could potentially get booted out of your guild or your alliance. So, to all of the people that are listening that are in charge of alliances, that are in charge of guilds, do a moratorium on your tickets. Just for the length of time that this galactic chase is on. Allow the people in your guilds and in your alliances to funnel all of their crystal refreshes into the fleet, into the fleet battles, so that they can get their thing. It's 5 days, and you're only going to miss out on what? A couple of raids? A couple of raids is all you're going to miss out on, right? And I know you're shaking your head, Paul. And I get that. Some of the high-end guilds, it's important that they get those gear. It's important that they get the gear, and it's important that they get all of the various different goodies and the shards that you get from raids. And I totally 100% get that. But this galactic chase is 5 days. I mean, we're down to 4 days already. Is 4 days of not getting 600 tickets from every single person that much of a disaster?
Do you know if you play this game without spending any crystals, for any energy, you will still get approximately 500.
Yes, but not everybody can log in multiple times a day and get all of that energy. Some people
then they can be in a guild that isn't strict about the 600.
And I get that, and that's fine.
And I'm going to say this: the guilds that are strict about the 600, the guilds that are strict about the 600 have people that are getting top 20 in their fleet and their arena shards. If you are a guild that is strict about your 600, and you're like 1.2 million, and you're just a jerk.
Yes, but I'm not talking about someone that's deliberately not doing what they're supposed to be doing, deliberately not doing what they are, the gentleman's agreement that they entered into with the guild leader when they joined the guild. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about this one event for these few days. And then everything goes back to, once this galactic chase is over, everything goes back to normal. Is it really that bad just for a few days? And then, in the meantime, we can be lobbying, we can lobby CG to include the use of fleet energy in the, and incorporate it into the 600, because like they said, we wanted to equalize fleet energy and make it the same as regular energy. Well, we'll include it in the guilds, make it so that when you spend that energy, it's 600 tickets. I mean, if they want to increase the number of tickets because they incorporate it in, there are solutions to this. I'm just saying that for a few days, just give the guys that are only because there are some people that only make 50 crystals in each of their shards because they just don't have the firepower necessary to hit top 200 and top 20.
Look at this. They get 50 from each shard, okay? We're going to say they're earning only 50 crystals from arena. They're earning only 50 crystals from fleet, and they're also doing their dailies. They're going to get 100 crystals from their dailies. They're going to get 100 crystals from their arenas. So therefore, 50 is taken away to get 1 bonus energy of regular energy, which will get them their 600 and their 3 refreshes a ship. There you go, Neil.
Yeah, but we've done the math on this. You need at least 250 crystals worth of refreshes to be able to get enough bonus shards for this ship to get it to the 80 to activate it. 150 isn't cutting it. I've been doing 150 across the board on all 4 of my accounts, and none of them are getting these shards at the rate necessary to get it to the 80. If you go the extra mile and do another 100, it's getting you between the 12 and the 15 mark from 250 shards, obviously plus the regular energy that you get through the game. But and that's why I'm just saying, I don't think it's a complete and utter disaster to just allow people a little bit of leeway for a few days, and then everything goes back to normal. If people don't return to normal once this galactic chase is over, then start kicking people out of guilds and replacing them with more reliable people for the 600 tickets.
Scotty, before I turn Neil a new one, what you got?
All right, look, I've got to say this. Neil, 100% right. I agree with you on fleet. Fleet stuff needs to go into the 600. I don't care if they up it to 1,000. As long as the fleet is involved in getting your daily tickets, that's fine by me. I really couldn't care less. I think that should. It's ridiculous that the fleet nodes and also the mod nodes energy that you use are not a part of your 600 tickets, because you're using energy anyway.
Yeah.
They're different kinds of energy. It's ridiculous that they're not even included in this. So I agree with you on that. I disagree with you on your farming. Like, dude, 100 crystals in Cantina, you don't need to do that. You do your 350s in on your energy, right? For your light and dark side. You can do your 350s, man, and you've got the 144 there already on Cantina. There's your 600, brother. So all I'm saying to you, man, is get good.
All you do is just do one refresh, and you get your 600. I do 3 refreshes when it's not Galactic Chase. I do 3 refreshes on regular energy, and I sim my I sim all of my tickets in Cantina. I've got my 600. You and I used to race all the time, Scotty, to see who could get it done right after refresh. Now, that being said, if you do your Cantina energy right out of the gate, you get your refresh. By the time you're there, if you only do 3 in order to fulfill that daily quest, you'll never top off your Cantina energy, but you'll maximize your time.
Maybe my opinion on this is skewed because I play multiple accounts and I play all 4 first thing in the morning, using the energy so that by the time I get round to doing my arena climbs in the evening, that the energy has refreshed throughout the day. Somebody playing one account should legitimately be able to log in at the 3 points during the day and get the bonus energy. I'm simply putting forward the argument that for the sake of 4 days out of a 365-day year, it is not a massive issue to me.
Okay, but what if they do this again?
They do what again?
What if they put another Galactic Chase out, and so you're going to ask for 3 more or 5 more days of leniency?
I said, you really think they're going to do? I mean, it's like 365 days a year. There's 365 days in a year. If they did 5 Galactic Chases spread out over a period of year, that's still only 25 days out of 365.
That's a month.
It's not. It's 20 days.
5 Galactic Chases? That's 25
Sorry,
days,
25. 25. My apologies. Yeah.
That's essentially February.
It's a dozen and a baker's dozen.
Yeah, but look, it's neither here nor there for me. I mean, I think each guild's their own. I mean, if you're in one of those sorts of guilds that Neil's in and you want to go after the Galactic Chase, fine.
I'm in the same alliance as you. I'm in the ANZGC.
Yeah.
You're calling guilds in your alliance filthy guilds.
I'm not calling them filthy guilds. I'm saying that it depends on, it's a guild by guild situation. I mean, if you're in Yavin, you can handle getting your 600 in, right? If you're in, if you're in the Heinze guild that I was just in before, you can handle getting your 600 in, no problem. If you're in, say, Neil's guild, you may not be able to handle getting the 600 in. So it's a guild by guild basis. I think that if you're in a different guild, maybe bring it up with your officers, man. And that's probably the way to go about it, I think. But the drop rates, though, the drop rates are absolute beep. And I just think that, CG, you need to change your wording. I mean, it shouldn't say bonus. It should say chance to change your wording.
Here's the thing to take away from all of this, whether you agree with Neil, whether you agree with me, whether you agree with Scotty, or somewhere in between. Play the game the way you want to play the game. If 600 is important to you, find a guild that does 600. If it ain't crap to you, go find a guild that does that. And just do with the game as you want to do.
Yep.
That's what's going to keep this game alive. That's what's Neil's falling asleep over there.
I'm just reading chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm just reading Hellenix being a dictator.
And it just comes down to the fact that, guys, our guildmate, or my guildmate, Run DMV, who's a great friend of the show, he just got all of the Sith. Anything with the Sith tag is now Gear 13, and he's the happiest son of a bitch I've ever seen. I'm just going to put that out there. So,
yeah, exactly, Paul. Play the game how you want to play it. I mean, Neil, you might be able to get some, sanctions or whatever, being a content creator. If you speak to your guild leader, they might say to you, okay, man, you've got some you've got these 5 days here to get your galactic chase in. If you want to really go after the ship, you can do it. We won't smash you for for your energy for 600 tickets because you are going for this. It's about flexibility, man. It's a give and take game, and it's a give and take world. And I think
so
that's
therefore communicate.
Exactly.
Scotty, we're it is now 8:30. You're going to turn into a pumpkin soon, and we got to get to the incoming transmission. Any final words?
I do, man. I do. Look, before I go, look, Gridden, off the grid, he's been having a bit of a rough time this week, man. Some people have left some pretty mean comments on the collaboration that he did with Cubs fan Han on Cubs' video, and it's knocked him for 6. So if you can send some love to Gridden, that would be lovely. People just shouldn't be mean. That's at the end of the day. You can be mean towards the game, fine. But to the people that are out there doing this thing in front of a camera, it takes a lot of guts to do that. And Gridden's a lovely bloke, and I wish him all the very best. And I think he's a wonderful guy. So he'll be streaming just after the Escape podcast. So head on over to Twitch and to his channel and go on over there and say g'day to him. Following Gridden,
I'd also like to take a moment and say that if you are watching this channel and or listening to this podcast, and you are one of the pieces of crap that did that to Grid, just delete us off your subscribe list. I don't want to see you here.
Roasting good, trolling bad.
Yeah.
Say that again, Neil.
Roasting good, trolling bad.
Exactly.
Roasting is fun. It's light-hearted. People enjoy the joke. Trolling is just being nasty and mean and going personal. So yeah, don't do it.
Yeah.
So show Grid some love. Show all the content creators that you love some love. Scotty, anything else?
I do, yes. I want to send in a shout out as well and a big congratulations to Urzatron, 15,000 subscribers. That is an absolute sensational feat. Well done to him. And also to the fact as well that he gave the Escape podcast a massive shout out in Rogue Actions the other day as well as Heinzie and Grid as well. So congratulations, Urz. And it was good to see Mrs. Tron on his channel as well, all dressed up like a Twi'lek. That was fantastic. So good on you, Urz. We love you, mate. And you know that we do. Heinzie is streaming later on. In fact, in around about another 2.5 hours from now, he's going to be streaming. He's got a 7.2 million account that he's going to be playing with today, which has got something like 112 relics on it. And he is going to be having a lot of fun with this one. So you do not want to miss that. He's got Mando at relic 4, and also I think he's got Moff Gideon at relic 5. So this could be a bit of fun. So if you want to see all the toys in action, make sure you catch Heinzie's stream a bit later on today in about 2.5 hours time from now. And the last thing that I wanted to mention as well, guys, before I go, I've actually gone into a brand new guild, and shout out to the guys at Fallen in the ANZGC. It's great to be with you guys, and I'm going to be having a lot of fun with so many of you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I cannot wait to be joining you very, very soon. So rock on, guys. Thank you.
All right. With that being said, he's playing a 7.2 million account. I'm sure did really, really well in TB.
It's not from our guild, man. It's actually from Shadowlands.
It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it did well in TB, in Lightside GOTB, because that's what that mode is made for. Anyway, I'm just giving you some grief.
I know. But look, guys, it's always fun to be over here. Make sure that you go and subscribe to Biscuit Weasel as well. He is an absolute legend. I love that guy. And make sure you go and show him some love too over here on Twitch, and all the Escape Pod Castaways content creators too. They do an amazing job, and we wouldn't be here without them. So make sure you go on over there and do that. But man, I'm so proud of this community. People are just continuing to stay on track, stay on target, and do what they do, even without any communication from Capital Games. I just think that they should have probably told us 3 or 4 months ago that they were working on this mode, just quietly.
All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Scotty McLaren, Coming up after this, we sit down with Battlefield 2 and SWGOH content creator Jackson Tucker to talk about him just getting to affiliate right here on Twitch as well, or over on Twitch if you're watching this on the YouTube version. We'll be right back on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net!
Are you a member of Team Paul or Team Neil? Maybe you prefer story time with the llama, or dabble in the buttery side of the Force with Biscuit Weasel. Or maybe you like the Escape Pod talents from Down Under like Heinzie and Scotty. No matter who you support, you can get one of my designs from the Escape Podcast merch store. Just go to escapepodcastaways.com, click on the merch link, and it will take you to the TeePublic site where you can support me, Mrs. Anthony, also known as Critty K. Also be sure to check out the Mrs. Anthony Shirts channel on the Escape Podcast's Discord server weekly to vote for my latest shirts in the Design Derby on Woot. Links for both of these are down below. Thank you for supporting the Escape Pod cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
Back to school. The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello, Escape Podawans, and welcome back to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week on Faction Facts, we are bringing you another Rebel faction that is the Rogue One faction. Now, there are 9 characters. First up, Jyn Erso, who's available in the Guild store. Chirrut, who's available in the Fleet Arena store. K2SO, who's available in the Galactic War store and in the Guild Event store. Cassian Andor, who's available in the Squad Arena store and the Guild Event store. Pow, who's available in the Cantina store. Baze, who's available on Lightside Hard Node 9C. Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, who's available on Cantina Node 1D. Biston, who's available in the Fleet Arena store and in the Cantina store. And last, but certainly not least, is Bodhi Rook, who's available in the Galactic War store. Now, of all of these characters in this faction, there's actually only one leader, and that's Jyn Erso. Her leadership ability, Into the Fray, grants rebels plus 35% potency, plus they recover 5% protection when they gain a buff. Now, also, enemies that suffer debuffs during rebel ally turns have a 50% chance to become exposed that can't be resisted. Now, if you notice that she has no specific Rogue One gains or buffs within her leadership ability, which means technically she can be used with any rebels, but there really are better rebel leaders out there, like, you know, Admiral Akbar, CLS, Wedge Antilles. You're really going to want to use those leaders before you use a Jyn Erso lead. Now, because there are 9 characters, and you can only have 5 characters in a squad, obviously my recommended team comp are, you know, the stars of the movie: Jyn Erso, K2SO, Cassian, Chirrut, and Baze. Now, it's also really helpful to put some effort into gearing Biston and Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, because they are the crew for Biston's U-Wing, which is a really, really good ship that can be part of your Rebel fleet that you can use on defense and GAC, or, you know, with the new ship that, you know, CG announced this week, that'll really bring a lot of viability to using that Rebel fleet again. Now, uses for this team, they are required in Lightside Hoth TB, which is Hoth Rebel Assault. They are required for a special mission in Phase 3 and a combat mission in Phase 6, so it's definitely worth putting your time and energy in farming this team. They can also be used on defense and GAC. They're definitely one of those put them in the back type of teams, similar to Old Republic. They are definitely one of those timeout teams, and a lot of that is because of the way that Chirrut and Baze kind of interact with each other. They give each other protection and they give each other health, and you know, they'll have a taunt on K2 and, you know, they'll just kind of heal each other up, and, you know, Baze hits really hard and gains lots of buffs. So they're definitely a timeout team. You can throw them in the back if you've got them, you know, fairly well geared enough to complete that Phase 6 combat mission. They'll be great in the back in GAC. Now, they're not really counters for many teams. If you want to leave them on offense and don't really want to put them on defense, they can be used as kind of like a cleanup team. So if you've gone in already and have, you know, taken down one or two of your opponent's characters, you can use them to kind of clean it up. That way you don't have to use one of your better teams or try and go in, you know, undersized and possibly lose. Now, they are countered by Imperial Troopers, Bosk or Django-led bounty hunters. They are also countered by a Malak solo, a Wampa solo, or a Nest solo. They are one of the few teams that Old Republic can counter. You can also use a Palp-led Empire team, and you can also use a Qui-Gon Jinn-led Jedi team. So if you've got the Zeta on Qui-Gon Jinn's leadership ability, you can use him as a lead for kind of whatever Jedi you have left, and a lot of times you will have success. Now, I really want to hear what factions you want me to cover next. Drop me a message in the comments below or send me a message on our Discord server. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more story time with the llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to the Escape Podcast. This week's incoming transmission is somebody I recently discovered, a Twitch streamer that plays Battlefront 2, and he does Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which goes without saying. But I'm going to stop short there because I don't do the introducing because I'm crap at it. So I'm going to hand you over to the Master of Ceremonies, who's going to big this guy up, bigger than a big thing that's just come first in a big competition. Paul, take it away.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually been pretty much a supporter of this show since near the beginning, and he decided to try his hand at streaming, and he's kind of blown up majorly in the past week itself. From you know, gone in 60 seconds from 0 to 60 in what, 2 weeks, I think it was. He's a good friend of the show, and he also is a pretty damn awesome person himself as well. He is a Battlefront 2 streamer, as Neil says. He also does SWGOH, and he's got a few more tricks coming up his sleeve in the very, very near future. Ladies and gentlemen, straight out of Kentucky, It's Jackson Tucker. What's going on, Jackson?
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Neff. Thanks to you guys for having me.
You know,
and I'm from Georgia. My mom's from Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Well, I read your shirt.
Oh, I'm a Kentucky fan.
Okay, then there you go. Okay, straight out of the Kentucky fan base. How about that?
Fair enough.
Okay. So, guys, this you are you claim to be mostly free to play when you talk about your account. So mostly free to play doesn't mean exactly free to play, and so therefore Neil's gonna check your customs card on the way in.
Yeah, I want to see your free to play card. So your free to play, you only have a free to play card if you've never ever spent money in the game. Can you say that?
No, I can't.
Then I'm
spent money
terribly
on this game.
sorry, but I'm going to have to revoke your free to play card. I want you to take it out in front and cut it in half.
No, you don't cut it in half. You just punch a hole in it.
Yeah,
and
it
he
gets
has
a
to
hole
go
punched
apply.
in it. Free to play with a hole.
And he has to go apply for a free-to-play passport because now he's free to play. But what did you wail on? Born again free-to-play, as Hellenic says.
So I wailed on Revan. I wailed to get Zalbar mission in T3 up to 7 stars. I've wailed to get my Newt Gunray and the Separatists up to 7 stars so I could beat Padme. And then occasionally, if I see a good deal, I'll grab it. Like if I see like some gear that I need, I'll drop a couple bucks, get it, that kind of stuff. Other than that, I usually just use crystals I gain from Squad Arena, all that kind of stuff, and just kind of save up and then use those to get some gear.
Are you a hoarder? Do you like to hoard?
I'm trying to be a hoarder because a lot of people need the same gear and it's really annoying.
Yeah. Oh, God. True that.
It's really annoying.
True that. So when you click on stun gun, your entire roster opens up below it.
Grievous needs it. CLS needs it. Han needs it. Every single person I'm working on, all the droids need it.
I got a really quick humble brag. We got 62 stun guns from our rewards in GOTB today.
Oh. I'll take that. Shoot.
I would kill for that right now. I've got 100 hoarded. And that's just on one account.
Oh, jeez.
But I ain't going to touch them. Not touching them. I'm not going to touch them until I've got everything.
I'm starting to hoard my guild event token currency so I can get negotiator. I don't have negotiator or malevolence. I don't care. But got to start saving up in case I ever get Malik and all that fun stuff.
So you're spending your get 2 on gear. You're not spending it on the ship.
I spend it mostly on the negotiator, and then whatever I have left, I get after the gear. That's a horrible strategy, but that's just how it is.
So you just play the one account then? No alt?
I do have an alt, but I can't access it right now.
Oh, that kind of sucks. How come?
I don't know, because I play on iOS, and so when I transferred it to BlueStacks, it doesn't really save, so I'm going to figure all that stuff out tonight.
Oh, have you still got it on your phone?
I still have my main on my phone, yeah.
Oh, right, but you don't have access, so why can't... That's what I was wondering about.
I don't know. I really don't know.
You have to use the Facebook link.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, but then it transferred everything. It's pain.
You're gonna have to hit me up, and we see if we can't get it restored. See if we can't figure it out.
Yeah, because the alt account was like my first account, and it had like Kylo at 4. I was like, oh wow, a lot of people.
Yeah, no. We will discuss. We will have some words, and we'll discuss it more in depth in the after show.
Sounds like a plan.
I know. By the way, I know you're planning on having a long conversation with Flair. You're going to talk some shop with Flair regarding OBS, because you need to stop using.
To get OBS working today. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to
try to get it working today.
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs. It's just not working today.
Yeah, we used it once, never again. Literally, we've only ever used it once, and it was such a disaster. We have never touched it again.
Hellenix Hellenix is posing a question to you, asking you, how many Zeta mats and Omega mats do you have? There's one guy that has 210-ish Zeta mats and 500-ish Omega mats. By the way, Hellenix, hashtags shameless self-promotion there.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Where's the hashtag shameless self-promotion?
what's your horde going on?
So I've got 11 Omegas and 26 or 27 Zeta mats.
Oh, so you pretty much use those as and when they come along, do you?
Pretty much, yes. The Omegas, yes. The Zetas, I keep going with those until I know I have enough, and then I'll Zeta whoever. But
yeah,
the
so
Omegas
you'll hit your 20 and your 13, and you'll be like, right, putting it on, and then you'll
pretty
start.
Much, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
I used to be that same
way.
No,
I used to do that. I used to do the same thing, mate.
And now it's when I look at a new character, it tempts. It's tempting, but I'm holding on to it until I need it for a certain situation.
I did drop Zetas on my Mando, even though it's at 3 stars, but I figured as soon as Mando becomes farmable, I'm going to be farming him up to 7 stars, so I may as well dump the Zetas on him now.
Oh yeah, he looks so worth it, and he looks really good for the bounty hunters.
One thing that that we didn't talk about, and so we'll talk about it with you here.
Okay.
They're giving us 2 extra challenge attempts every single day until next Thursday, I think it is.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of your Zetas right there. That's at least 16 Zetas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing the challenges today.
Omegas.
Yeah, I was doing the challenges today, and I noticed like after the 3rd time it said Sim. I was like, wait a minute, what? So I just kept going. I was like, okay, great.
Yeah. So what? Of those challenges, let's talk about your account for a second. What's your GP, and what was your first character that you ever got to gear 12? If you were, how long have you been playing? Let's start with that.
I've been playing since The Force Awakens came out, so probably around November, December 2017 when Battlefront came out. That's when I started playing Galaxy of Heroes because of all the ads.
Okay, so you've got about 3 years on the game. Okay, let's. Were you around when they increased 12 to 13?
I do not recall that. No.
Okay. But yeah, of course you were. Now I'm actually thinking.
I was when I started was when Holdo and Rose Tico were the marquee characters. That's when I started playing the game, and that's what's on my alt account.
My heart goes out to you, mate. Those
well, they
those
look
are the
good
like,
in the
is
kits.
this what you get for free? These are crap.
Yeah, I didn't notice that till it came out, and I was like, okay, these might be good. And then here we are now. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
So, who was your first 7-star, and who was your first maxed character?
So, what's funny is it's totally the opposite. So, my first 7 stars was actually Mace Windu.
Rambam would love you.
Yeah, Rambam will love you for that.
Oh yeah. If you're talking about maxed out abilities, Mace was the same way. But in terms of gear, Darth Vader was my first completely maxed out character.
Why? Okay, why Darth Vader?
It's Darth Vader. What more do you need?
Good answer. Good answer.
But I took
that answer.
The thing is, like, when you think about cinema villainy, Darth Vader comes up, to me at least. He's like the ultimate villain. Like, everybody knows who he is. And so when I saw how powerful he was, I was like, I like this guy. And so I took him to Relics, and he hits really well, hard.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain with that. He is, from a cinematic villainy perspective, the best.
Exactly.
I can't think of a movie or a cinema villain more evil than Darth Vader, really.
Exactly. And then when you see the story of how he became, it's like, wow.
Yeah, and obviously you get, you get the most evil character in the world that gets a redemption story at the end.
Exactly.
Spoiler alert.
Go watch episode 6.
All right. So, Jackson, what kind of things are you doing over on your Twitch channel? You play Battlefield 2 mainly, correct?
Yeah, mainly it's Battlefront.
Battlefront. My apologies.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, Battlefront 2 is the main thing because I can stream it straight from my console. I started getting into GACs on my Twitch as well, and I've got that stuff figured out. I'm dabbing a little bit into Call of Duty as well, just for fun, but mainly it's just Battlefront.
Gotcha. And you have a lot of fun things that are for channel point reward requests in there. Like we get to choose your hero. You let me choose that you played an Ewok earlier. That was quite fun.
Ewoks are not good. Oh, I see Heinzie's here. What's up, Heinzie? But yeah, Ewoks are not. They're garbage. They're pitiful.
What others? Why did you choose Battlefront 2?
I played the first Battlefront, and it was mainly the original trilogy. And then seeing how this game would have Clone Wars, the sequels, it had Yoda, Darth, it had all of my favorite prequel heroes coming in. And I just picked that game because I love Star Wars. I love being able to kill people as either clones or droids, stormtroopers, or resist. It's just fun to play in all different eras.
Gotcha.
Favorite. So, PT, OT, or ST?
Prequel trilogy, original.
Yeah. I'm thinking prequels are my favorite.
So you're a Clone Wars era guy.
I grew up with. Well, that's the thing I grew up with.
Yeah.
I grew up with.
No, that's understandable. Yeah, I do. I totally, I totally get people that that are.
Although the dialogue is really bad, the action is what really gets me into it.
And it didn't hurt that Revenge of the Sith Episode 3 saved the trilogy.
Absolutely, 100% agree.
Episode 3, Episode 1, apart from the end, obviously the fight scene at the end,
it was way too slow.
Yeah.
Episode 2 was that way too, but Episode 3, getting right into it, beautiful.
Yeah, it saved.
That's my all-time favorite movie.
So, Jackson Tucker, if you're dabbling in this Call of Duty, are there other games that you're possibly looking at to start Twitch streaming in the future?
I have a Marvel Strike Force account. I was going to plan on doing that. Lego Legacy is not working for me, but that is one game I really want to do.
Windows 10. I'm going to let you know. Windows 10 version will help alleviate all that problems.
Go Windows 10. Yeah.
Don't do it on BlueStacks.
Do not do it on BlueStacks. I lost my account
because I've been using BlueStacks
days.
and it just crashes every single time, and it's so annoying.
Yeah,
I lost my account for 8 days because of BlueStacks. So go Windows 10.
All right, I will. I got it. But yeah, that's one game I would really love to stream.
So let's take a look at we covered what you do and we covered your account. What do you hope that this new character coming is going to be?
That's hard. Well, because I would really like this road ahead to give us the game mode that anybody can play, that we can use all of our characters, and this has to really blow up. It really has to make everybody say, I want to play this game mode every single day. With this new character, I'm going to speculate Jedi Luke.
Ooh,
Jedi
Luke. Okay.
I think it's a Galactic Legends Luke, and they might do a Galactic Legends Vader.
So if they do Galactic Legends again, that is going to throw everybody off a cliff, in my opinion. That is.
Yeah, I agree, because we have Rey. She's stupid OP. And then you have Kylo, who's probably the most fun character to use out of the two of them, but they're just so stupid expensive.
If they did, if they did Galactic Legends again so soon after the others, and there are still people, working their way through the tiers.
Exactly.
Got the prerequisites done, but it takes forever to actually get them. If they were to bring out another Galactic Legend, oh god, yeah, and that it would just throw people for a loop.
Another thing I'm thinking,
but your suggestion would be the only saving grace, because people would be like, at last, we've only been asking for it for the last 5 goddamn years, yay! But then a bunch of Rebel characters gear 13.
Well, the thing is, the Rebels need a boost. You got CLS, Han, Chewie. Great. What about the Rogue One characters? What about the Rebel Officer Leia? She played a big role. What about Lando? What about these other characters that were really good in the movies? Why are they such trash?
Well, I mean, I would argue that the reason why they're trash is simply because of the power creep that came into the game once they introduced Traya. You've got they brought these iconic characters into the game so early, because during those early years, those first the first 12 to 16 months, it's like you have to have those characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But once Traya and Nihilus and Scion came in, that was the beginning of the power creep, and it never stopped. It just kept on getting worse and worse and worse. Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, Malik, Gas. It just went bonkers.
But another theory I have, this could be something from The Mandalorian, and I saw Arnold speaking about how it could be the child, because normally when we do have marquee characters, they lead up to a legendary or a journey character.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's usually, here's the thing that I'm going to throw this out there. Usually it's a character on the opposite side.
Usually, yeah. So I would, if Moff Gideon, if he does come to the game, I would love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've speculated, we have speculated that before, because the one exception to the rule is obviously GMY, because you need Jedi to get GMY.
Absolutely.
And technically, I guess, you did need all those Old Republic characters on the light side to unlock Jedi Knight Revan, and then the dark side you needed them for. So I guess that's but I guess it was also from the point of when they were released. But I digress on that one.
Yeah.
So we have eclipsed the top of the hour. We're running a little bit behind on this. Jackson, tell people how to find you and pimp your channel. The stage is yours.
Okay, so I will be streaming tomorrow night at 8 because I will be working. My Twitch handle is Epileptic Nose. Don't ask. Just don't ask. But that is where that is my Twitch. We are 11 followers, actually close to 100 today.
Yes.
So I am really excited, and honestly, the support that this community has had blows me away, man. It's been really awesome to be able to stream a game that I love, games that I love, and interacting with people all over the world.
And one of the big things is when I finish this show, I want to pop over to Jackson Tucker's email or to his Twitch channel, and I want to see him at 100. So I challenge you guys, pop over there really quick and get
We're just 11 away. Oh, man.
Get him over 100 by the time we end this show. That would be appreciative. Mean a lot to me.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We want him to come into the after show and tell us, yay, made 100.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So, Jackson, thank you so very much for coming on. We'll see you guys. We'll be dropping in every so often to share and spread the love, and let us know if there's anything else we could do for you, my friend.
Thank you guys for having me on the show. It was a complete honor, and I will absolutely reach out to you guys.
You guys, stick around. Patreon's choice, and now we have a channel point redemption. If you've been watching this show, you've earned some channel points. If you spend some channel points, we'll answer your question. All you have to do is use the channel points to get a segment 4 question, and we'll answer it coming up here in just a moment. Stick around. We'll be right back on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127 or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you. Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Last time on Harry and the Moon.
Your optic nerves do not deceive you. Homeobox, Araspec, Horsebox.
TC-14? But how?
You didn't make it easy, Horsebox.
Damn right I didn't. All I wanted to do was remove your central processor and send it out for repairs after your self-diagnostic showed more than a dozen critical faults.
This conversation no longer serves a purpose. Either surrender yourself now, come with me, and meet your ultimate fate, or prepare to be blasted into the vacuum of space. Either way, you lose.
Excuse me.
What?
I won't let you harm
my master.
Oh dear.
Noob! You're alive! But how? I saw your central optic light dim, fade away and blink out. Newbie, I saw you die.
I have a secondary power source, Master. It took a moment, but I was able to reroute power and reboot my systems.
Like the T-800 and T2 Judgment Day?
Exactly.
Haha, nice. I knew those countless hours we spent watching old sci-fi movies would pay off someday. Well, I, for one, am glad you're back, bud. Let's get you repaired and back on main power.
Not before we repair the ship's
main cannon.
The ship's main cannon?
Yes, Master. Don't forget, we still have that space pirate ship to
destroy.
I like how you think, newbie.
What should we do about TTTC-14?
Master?
Well, you did kind of blast her head clean off her chassis, newbie. Shoot, you basically vaporized it. Matter of fact, I don't even see any bits or pieces of her head anywhere.
I'm a droid, Master. My methods are very...
efficient.
Indeed they are, newbie. Well, let's gather what remains of TC-14 and put her in storage. Perhaps in time, we can rebuild her.
And rehabilitate her.
Master.
Sounds like a plan, bud. Tell you what, Why don't I start gathering the remains of TC-14, and why don't you start repairing our weapon systems, all while we continue listening to the Escape Pod Cast. What do you say, newbie?
That sounds like an excellent idea.
Master.
Oh yeah, one more thing, noob. Going forward, why don't you just address me as Hellenix? Hashtag shameless self-promotion. It's what all my friends call me. And of course, I do consider you my friend.
As do I. Helly. I mean...
Hellenix.
Oh, noob.
And so, our intrepid heroes continue on their quest to entertain gamers across the known galaxy with their crazy antics. Surely, they will have more exciting adventures in their future. What will they get themselves into next? Only time will tell.
The Escape Pod Cast. The Bridge.
And welcome back to our fourth and final segment of the evening, Patreon's Choice, where you get to ask us a bunch of questions that do or do not necessarily have to do with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but you can always make them... Oh. Who just snap hissed?
Schnarman gave a sub to Rogue613.
Thank you very much for the sub, buddy. So, Paul, what questions have we got?
All right, our first question comes from our good long-term minnow in a shark's world, Bodie. He says that given that the Y-wing was on the screen for mere nanoseconds, what fan favorite blink or you miss it character would you bring to the game?
Which character or ship?
Yeah, well, which character or ship that you basically see for a nanosecond from the films?
Oh, right, okay.
So this is not my answer. It can be your answer if you want, but let's just say you really, really wanted to see Max Rebo in the game.
Yeah. No, I would like to see Tag and Bink in the game.
Tag and Bink.
Tag and Bink. I would like to see them in the game.
Where were they in the movies?
You know the two TIE fighter pilots that were the wingmen for Vader during his Death Star run?
Okay.
Yeah, they were written in as those characters in a graphic novel.
Okay, okay, we're talking movie canon only though.
Yeah.
Well, let's go movie canon only, not retconned through a graphic novel.
Okay.
Now I know who you're talking about. I was trying to think who it was.
Oh, okay. I just fancied having them in there. That was all.
I can agree, and they have some great episodes in graphic novels.
Yes, they do exactly. So, well, it wasn't particularly in there briefly, but I must admit I would like to see Django in his ship. So I would like to see Django's ship in.
Okay, so Django's Slave 1.
Yeah.
I could give you that. For me, I actually the character I'd love to see, he was only in a handful of scenes, and that would be S.B. Crumb. I would like to see Salacious B. Crumb. He was not in any other movies other than Jedi. And he was only in the scenes for Jabba's palace,
yeah,
and in the sail barge.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your blink and you missed it, in my opinion.
Okay.
We have Babu Frick, Jack Porkins. Jack Porkins is, of course, the correct answer according to Bodhi.
Yeah,
but
Porkins.
We already know Porkins is technically in the game. We just don't see him.
We need more Rogue Squadron and Red Squadron.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. We do have Jack Porkins in the game. It's Rebel Pilot. He just was on Slim Fast, okay?
He was on the Slim Fast diet.
He went on a Slim Fast diet. That's what I was told That's what I was told, is that the Rebel pilot was supposed to be Porkins, but they just called him Rebel Pilot and slimmed him down.
You do realize that the Rebel pilot's a chick, right?
Don't judge him.
The Rebel pilot's a chick.
Don't judge him.
Because when the Rebel pilot dies, it's a girl's scream.
No, that's Porkins. When did you find out? This question came from.
Oh, sorry. No. No. I stand corrected. I am wrong. Helenix, yes, you are correct. It's not it is the Resistance pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, the Resistance pilot's the girl.
Yeah,
Thank
Resistance
you.
pilot's the chick.
Schnarman asks, when did you find out that you liked Star Wars? Were you growing up and your parents showed you, or did you find it on your own? What's your favorite character on each side? Why? And what's your favorite ship?
Okay, first, so go. That question had like multiple parts.
It did. When did you find out you liked Star Wars?
It was on terrestrial TV. In the UK, back in the 80s, we only had 4 TV channels. So when I was a kid growing up, we had BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, and Channel 4. And during Christmas, thank you very much for the subscribe.
Andy B,
Epileptic Nose,
giving Jackson Tucker a subscription.
During the Christmas period, because we only had 4 channels, during that entire Christmas and Winterval period, the TV channels would load us up on movies. And Star Wars aired for the first time on TV in the UK in, I think it was 1984 or 1985. So it was either 6 or 7. And I sat down there. I was at my grandmother's house, and I sat and watched the entire thing, and it was like, wow. Just wow. And then every year afterwards, they would play Star Wars, and every time it would come on the TV, one of the different episodes, I would record it on a VHS recorder, and then I would just watch the episode over and over again. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Every time I went to my grandmother's, I would have Star Wars on VHS, and I would just watch it over and over again.
There we go. For me, it was episode 1 that hooked me, that got me interested. And before episode 1 came out, I watched the first 3. So I really enjoyed the original trilogy, I should say. And so I went and I saw episode 1 in the theaters. Kind of liked Jar Jar. I'm not ashamed of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, went to see 2, went to see 3, and have loved Star Wars ever since. I got a real passion for it when I found the X-Wing tabletop game. That's when a real passion came over me to go into it. And then I found this game, and it's been going on ever since. So growing up, did your parents show you, or did you find it on your own? So I kind of found it on my own. You mentioned how you found. What's your favorite character on each side? I'll take that one first. Light side, I don't know. Okay, tell me. Episode 3, Anakin, is he light side or dark side?
Both.
So I'm gonna go light side. Anakin, from episode 3, was one of my very, very favorite characters. And of the dark side, I'm gonna have to say, it feels like a cop-out to say Vader, but I mean, Vader is...
No, it's awesome. Not a cop-out. Not a cop-out. If Vader's your favorite dark side character, he's your favorite dark side character.
So it's technically Anakin for both, as Andy Beads says.
Yeah, technically.
So, okay, what about you? And I'm gonna open the gates. EU is allowed.
Oh, EU. Oh, you see, I was just gonna pick someone from the movies.
I'm gonna let you go.
Oh, you're gonna let me embellish? Oh, right, okay. Well, well, then in that case, it's Mara Jade Skywalker.
Easy.
Both.
Easy.
Both
For
sides. Mara Jade Skywalker for both sides. When she was bad, she was very, when she was good, she was very good. When she was bad, she was better.
All right. Our friend Zaz, I'm sorry, the artist formerly known as Zaz, asks us, if you were a Jedi, what style of lightsaber would you use and what color? Neil, you first.
I'd go double blade, and it'd be green.
All right. For me, easily a power and control lightsaber. And the blade, obviously, I am no Jedi. I'm going red. All right. We have a few that came in here. Jackson Tucker asks, what got you guys doing this podcast? And thank you for all that you guys do. Well, you're very welcome for all that we do. Thank you for what you do as well. What got us going doing the podcast? Neil? What
you guys?
What truly prompted you to say yes? How about I ask it that way? What prompted you to say yes to doing story time with the Nev?
I like reading stories. I just like I like reading stories, and it's enabled my creative side.
Okay.
Because I'd have to come up with something new every single week. So yeah, I enjoyed doing that. And then when Scotty took a step back and you guys came to me and asked me to take over as co-host, it didn't even cross my mind. I didn't even have to think about it. I said yes straight away.
All right, and so let's go back here a little bit farther. JJ Manor says, do you think that they're gonna introduce landcrafts with the framework update? I really do. I everybody keeps saying these vehicles, and I really think that we are going to get vehicles.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So Blessed Gamer, he wasted 1,000 points just to point out, does Rebel Pilot exist? I can't find him. Yeah, there's a thing called comedy. Look it up. But there are generic Rebel pilots in some of the fleet battles.
They're NPCs.
Yes.
Non-playable characters.
All right. Do you believe that Jar Jar is a Sith Lord?
Absolutely. 100%. He is a Dark Lord of the Sith.
Give me a break on that one.
He is. Right. He's a Dark Lord of the Sith. Go back. There's Easter eggs all over the place. All over episode 1. There are Easter eggs, right? And he wasn't just a Dark Lord of the Sith. He was part of Crimson Dawn as well.
What?
Right. Okay. You know the thing that people in Crimson Dawn wear around their neck? Yeah, he was wearing it around his neck when he was a senator.
I'm gonna go look and see if that's true later on.
Yep.
But if it's not true, I'm sorry, Neil. I am going to call a proctologist to find your cranium. Okay?
Be my guest. I wouldn't say it if I wasn't confident.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Neil, what do you have coming up on our channel in the future here, and what do you have coming up in personal projects?
Yes, so we've got GAC obviously tomorrow. Very, very important. I will be following on from Flair. I will be going live with my GAC, my journey towards Quad Kyber, go Quad or go home. So obviously I'll be playing 3 accounts on our Twitch channel tomorrow early afternoon around about lunchtime, and then I'll be popping off recording Pom Pom Tastic and throwing that up on my YouTube channel. But there is something new that I am planning on doing. I'm planning on doing a monthly show because One of the things I do with my accounts, and it's just a habit that I've fallen into, and a couple people out there know that I do it, but I don't really play around with mods on a daily basis or a bi-day or weekly or at all. What I tend to do, especially now that I've got 4 accounts, is every single day I log in and I use all of my energy on slicing material. Everything, every shred of mod energy goes onto my mod slicing material. So I'll do 200, 200, 200, and then I'll bump it to 3s and 4s and 5s. And then what I do at the end of the month is I go through each account, because we get so many events that we get mods awarded to us from, golds, purples, blues, and whatever I pick up that's decent from the store. And then at the end of the month, I go through each account and I use all of the slicing material. I roll the mods, and if I get speed, I use the pre-farmed, hundreds and hundreds of pre-farmed slicing material to see if they'll, to see if this speed will roll. And I usually do that before each GAC. So I'm going to start doing that. So it's going to be modding mayhem. I'm going to do that once a month on our Twitch channel.
That sounds fun. And you also have something coming up on Saturday?
Yes, I've got Jedi Academy coming up on Saturday morning. So if you want to come and ask me some questions, please come across to RSG. If you're not subscribing to them, what rock have you been living under? Yes, come over to RSG Jedi Academy. It's always loaded up to its eyeballs with people that you are going to get. It doesn't matter what the question is. There is always somebody on the panel to answer your question. Plus, we get a couple of veterans in there. Sometimes warriors in there. Sometimes grandes in there. But you'll always get at least a half a dozen people in there that can answer any question you put out.
All right. Coming up on let's see. So today's Friday night. Saturday night, I don't personally have anything. Sunday, Sunday may be a surprise stream, but Monday we have Jackbox. It is Memorial Day. There may be a ton of just marathon streaming on Monday. Mm-hmm. We definitely have your GAC chain gang coming up as well. I may take part in that.
I'm going to be in full military regalia, so I'll be wearing one of my other military T-shirts. I might even I might even rock the medals.
So Monday I might do Memorial Day streaming. I usually do a roster review every Memorial Day with Ranger, and it's always kind of funny. I always tell him that this is in memorial of my account because you were about to roast it to hell. And then Tuesday we have more
Geeking out with Going Nerdy.
Geeking out with Going Nerdy on Tuesday. Wednesday we're going to be playing the first campaign mission of Imperial Assault with my arch rival when it comes to board games, Sean. He's scheduled to be there.
We're so going to kick your ass.
I know. Thursday, Marbles on stream along with the Quack Pack shortly after. Within that time, we will record our LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed podcast, and then we'll see you again for the final edition of the Escape Podcast of May next Friday. Any parting words there, Neil?
No, I'm good, mate.
All right. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for spending the most precious resource that you have, time, with us. And we hope that everything is good in your world. If not, we are here. We are an ear to listen. Also, be nice to each other, damn it. Wash your hands, and we'll see you next week on the Escape Podcast. Neil, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
Hello once again.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Count Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.